Well, welcome along to Hong Kong Direct, your #1 destination for everything Hong Kong racing related. Great to have you with us on this week's edition of the show. Let's take a look at what's coming up on the programme. We're going to hear from Hong Kong Hugh Bowman. I managed to sit down with him earlier on this week to discuss his recent Group 1 win and also him going forward. Well, first off, on this week's edition of the programme, on Friday morning, a new trainer was announced here in Hong Kong. He's 45-year-old Cody Mo, 9 years as assistant trainer to Tony Cruz, and he has been granted a trainer's licence for the upcoming season of 23/24. And earlier on Friday morning, I managed to catch up with Cody and ask him about the future.
Yeah, this very surprised me. I just know the. I just know that the news on yesterday 5 p.m. 5:30. So at the moment I still feel like a dream and so surprised and so exciting.
Cody, you must have learned a lot of things from a number of trainers. Obviously, you've worked for, I think, 4 trainers as an assistant trainer in your time, but Tony Cruz, obviously, for 9 years. What have been the most important things you believe that you've learned from Tony?
The first thing is he's a legendary jockey, even trainer, everybody knows. His sense for the horse, and he picked the horse and the sales, not on the sales, pick for the new horse, and even how to put the horse form to the national, international race. So I learned so much from him.
Yeah, we wish Cody very well indeed going forward. He's certainly got plenty of experience and has had a very good grounding. So best of luck to Cody. One man I'm sure he would like to have ride for him is a certain Hugh Bowman. Well, last week he managed to snare the Champions and Chater Cup on Russian Emperor, and he's certainly flying high in the Jockeys Premiership. And I managed to sit down with Hugh at Happy Valley this week and chat to him about that win, plus the future going forward.
Senor Toba running glories on their outside, but it's Senor Toba in front. Qatar, here we come. Russian Emperor down the centre with Straight Aaron, Romantic Warrior, Russian Emperor closing hard, a grandstand finish, and Russian Emperor goes back to back in the Champions and Chater Cup.
Hugh Bowman, racing, nothing seems to stand still for too long. We're only a matter of days since your Group 1 win on Russian Emperor, sat here at the wonderful Happy Valley. Just looking back on that win, I got the distinct impression, speaking to you post-race, that was a special Group 1 win.
Well, they're all special, Nick. They're hard to win, and you need things to go your way, and sometimes you need to be patient, sometimes you need to be a little less patient, and I think patience has paid me wonderful benefits throughout my career, and I think it cost me in this year's derby here in Hong Kong on Sword Point. I was very disappointed with myself that day, and I think Sunday's race is an example of my patience paying dividends, because I was not happy with the early speed, and I contemplated starting to build some pressure from a little earlier than it was built. And as I was sort of planning on doing so, Derek Lung on Money Catcher started to pour some pressure on him, and that played into the favour of my horse. So, look, it was a case of just being at the right spot at the right time, but also being on a horse that was well prepared for the race. So I was on the right horse on the right day. He's a top-level mile-and-a-half horse who found the right race.
Hugh, you've been there before, obviously Werther and Fiore here in Hong Kong at the top level, but I guess this one a little bit different now that you've obviously sort of declared yourself as becoming part of this Hong Kong fabric of racing. How have you settled in? Your wife Christine, your daughters are obviously here as well. How have you all settled into Hong Kong life?
Well, for me it's been just transferring from a lifestyle of being a jockey in Sydney and Australia to being a jockey here in Hong Kong, and it's something that I've always been attracted to, and I must admit during the COVID years it became a little less attractive. But I think my application to come was one at the right time of my career, right time for my family. Christine, it's been a little isolating for her because she's left a very comfortable lifestyle in Sydney to come here, and I feel she's maybe been a little isolated to a degree, but we've got the kids and they've settled in really well, and we're making the most of it. But look, on a professional side, it's been a really smooth transition. I've enjoyed wonderful support from a wide range of all the trainers, wide range of owners, and I'd like to think that support may continue. But look, I'm enjoying the racing, I'm enjoying the riding, the competition. I'm enjoying the challenge of having to get each horse in a good position to win a race, and I'm enjoying a steady flow of winners, which above all else, makes the clock tick when you're a jockey. So it's been really good, and to get that top level winner since being based here was, look, I wouldn't say it's been the most important thing, but it really has just put the cherry on top to what's been a remarkable 6 or 7 months for us.
Obviously, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Obviously, you're a world-class rider and you've ridden winners wherever you've been, but did you expect this season to go as well as it has?
Look, I came here with open expectations. I didn't set a platform of what I wanted or didn't want to achieve. I thought if I can just deliver on the opportunities that I'm given, then I'll be satisfied with that. But I think I have achieved beyond my own expectations, although I didn't have any, but I didn't expect to have done this well, to be honest. But I've enjoyed some minor placings in the big races, but I haven't been able to track that headline horse. And I have a very healthy respect for Zach Purton, both as a human being and of course as a rider. And he's made this town his own for the last 2 or 3 years, and prior to that, like, he and Joe have dominated for the best part of the last decade, let's be honest. So, I didn't come here trying to infiltrate into that dominance. I just came here to do the best I can do with the support that I get, and I think that's been justified, and hopefully we can build on that next season, and looking forward to what lies ahead.
Talking of that sort of trajectory and going forward, I guess I probably know the answer to some degree, but would Hugh Bowman Hong Kong champion be something that you might be after if it was attainable? I know it's not the easiest task in the world. Look,
anything's attainable, and I guess it comes down to my own dedication and focus and performance ultimately. I don't see next year as that being a realistic goal. I really think if I want to achieve that, I need to ride a bit lighter, and that's a huge commitment. And I'm not saying it's not doable, but that'd be a huge adjustment to my lifestyle and something that I've been through before. And like I said, it's been an optimum time in my career to move here, and it's worked really well. And the reason it's worked well is because my family has settled well, and I'm enjoying that family time. I get much more time with them than I did in Sydney, Australia. There was a lot more travel involved in Australia, and I'd like the opportunity, if it was given, to still travel abroad and ride in the big races. But ultimately, at 124 pounds, it's a comfortable weight for me. To be champion jockey, I think I need to push for 122, and that's a big adjustment to lifestyle, and one that would be sacrificed more by my family than by myself, of course. But it's something I'm very aware of, and to be perfectly honest, I'd rather just ride a little heavier and be a bit more present with them, and perform at the level that you've seen me perform, and be consistent throughout. And to try and do that a bit lighter, I'm not sure whether I'd have the consistency, but the lifestyle would certainly be a huge adjustment for me personally.
Just finally, on a much more sort of novel level, I've been reliably informed that the locals have taken to the victory salute as a Mr. OK. What's the story behind that?
Well, I'm not Chinese, so I don't know why they've taken it like that, but I suppose it's an easy OK signal, and that's how they've adopted it, and I'm happy with that. But at home it was cheese apples, which is a Aussie slang for, I didn't invent cheese apples, but it was something that my cousin and a few friends at home were doing one summer holiday when I was having a break, and I cheekily said to them, I'll put this on the map, and it's sort of gone a little bit across the world. But it's something that I've just done for years, and started as a bit of a joke, and it's now recognised with me throughout the world. But look, as long as I keep winning, she's apples or not, we're happy.
Well, many thanks to Hugh for taking the time to chat to us, of course, as insightful as ever, and certainly wishing him well for the rest of the season. 53 winners currently and sitting in third place in the Premiership. He does have some nice rides coming up this weekend as well. As we take a look at the diary, we've got a twilight race meeting upcoming this Sunday. The Lion Rock Trophy, he will ride Beauty Joy, and the Shartin Vase, he will jump aboard the John Size trained Sight Success. A Wednesday meeting at Happy Valley, and then we're back to Shartin on Saturday, the 10th of June, for another twilight fixture there. First race due to jump at around about 4 p.m. But that's what's coming up here in Hong Kong. We're just about out of time on this week's edition of the show. Do hope you've enjoyed what we've been able to bring you, and we look forward to another big race meeting coming up this weekend. From all the team who brought you Hong Kong Direct this week, it's goodbye for now.